What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here for another video, and today's video is about arrogance, hubris, pride, ego, whatever you want to call it. Because I believe it was the famous coach Herm Edwards who once said back when NFL and NBA stars were tweeting a bunch of stupid tweets that when you put out a tweet, there should be a screen that pops up afterwards being like, do you really want to press send on this tweet? And it seems like, while athletes might need that, game devs seem to need it a lot more. Because there are two very specific instances in which that would have been very helpful to certain game devs who have made complete asses out of themselves and are severely damaging their brand, if not the actual sales of their next game or current game. Now, the first has to do with Borderlands 4, and as you can see, Borderlands 4 probably going to be okay in the sales department. On Steam alone, and Borderlands is known more as a console-based IP. You have typically more people playing it on console rather than PC. Even then, you have over 300,000 players at its all-time peak, which is phenomenal from a sales standpoint, right? Especially in an era when people are turning to PC gaming more and more. However, with the increased amount of people turning to PC gaming, you're also going to have an increased amount of people with concerns about optimization and overall performance quality. Enter genius CEO of Gearbox who makes Borderlands 4, Randy Pitchford.
And game development is very hard.
Who has never ever said anything that has gotten in trouble online ever, has never sang the bigot song at an expo.
Nobody likes a bigot unless he's crying boo-hoo.
Has never lost his USB openly containing adult content, shall we say, a lot of adult content that was just easily accessible, not even really encrypted or hard to get into at all, at a medieval fair of all places. And above all questions you might have of that, the first I think should be, why do you just have this on you in the wild out about your day?
It's time to go.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Anyway, Randy has been doing what Randy does, which is not remaining quiet about anything and just emotionally posting during this whole launch, even leading up to the launch when people were like, hey, this looks like optimization is going to be a problem. And it looks like the game is going to have visual quality and actual performance quality problems. I mean, this is a guy that literally told people to code their own engines. This is a screenshot of, I think, a reply to a tweet that was put out here in which Randy Pitchford said, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they are doing, and all support and recommendations and code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. Yeah, snarky responses there telling people to go code their own engine is really a way you should clap back at people when they're complaining about the performance issues of your game. But just the other day, Randy decided to put a post out there that said every PC gamer must accept the reality of the relationship between their hardware and what software they are running is doing. He also got community noted on this, stating the main contention PC gamers have is that the game is poorly optimized. A recent video by Digital Foundry will explain. Possessing the latest hardware does mitigate the poor optimization to a great degree, but it doesn't erase the fact that it is poorly optimized. By the way, in this post, Randy, he went on and on and on, and it just keeps going and on and on. Yeah, he spurts out in this Twitter post that is all just a bunch of different ways of saying, hey, it's not us, guys. We tried really hard. Stop complaining. And then you know what he does when people clap back at him? He says things like, minimum spec absolutely plays at 30 frames per second. Recommended spec plays at 60 frames per second. Good systems with good tuning can go much, much higher. would you like help tuning with your personal specifications? Somebody else complains here. He says, you answer your own comment. Cyberpunk is a different piece of software. You are welcome to play it. You can also get help tuning your balance between FPS, resolutions, and features with Borderlands 4 if you like. Would you like help tuning with your personal specifications? He goes on. Somebody else claps back. He says, would you like help tuning with your personal specifications? Somebody else claps back. He also says, would you like help tuning with your personal specifications? And he goes on to do this. And what he's really saying there is, it's your problem. It's your personal specifications. You fix it. It's not a real call to actually help you. It's just saying, hey man, it's on you, not us, in a very snarky way. So why am I pointing this out right now? Well, it's important to remind you that this isn't some random small dev who did the textures of some part of the environment in the game. This is the CEO of the company, Gearbox, that made Borderlands 4. Why? Why is he spurging out like this? Why is he terminally online, just reposting and tweeting constantly, trying to own the haters, right? Trying to justify in his mind, because that's what it is, justification in his mind that they didn't do anything wrong, that they didn't come up short in some way. When the easiest way to solve this is to just say, hey, there were some optimization problems when we launched. We knew this was coming. Our day one patch may have not been as fully encompassing as we thought. We're working on it. That's all you had to say, and most people would have been sated. And the people who wouldn't be satisfied with that, well, then who gives a shit? You don't need to go online as the CEO, the chief executive officer, that's what that means, of the company, and have massive Twitter rants like this where you have so many subtweets under your own post that you literally become the meme of, yeah, I'm not going to read all that, but sorry to hear that, bro, or good for you. That doesn't help you at all, and if anything, it pisses people off because you already have a reputation as an arrogant prick, and now you're going further into telling people that it's not you, it's them. It's not me that's out of touch, it is the children. And while this doesn't look like it's going to affect Borderlands sales in any way, it may affect the sales of the next game. It definitely will affect the reputation of the company, but no matter what it does, it won't affect Gearbox as bad as what Bethesda just did. Because our other example today is that. Because, well, Bethesda decided to post this video on their official gold checkmark Twitter account. In the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, where people were constantly online calling him a fascist, calling his supporters fascist, calling people who just mourned his death fascists, as they've been calling conservatives fascist for, I don't know, a decade now, if not longer. Well, Bethesda decided to post this video. Let me play it for you right here. It's a very small clip, but it's a very poignant clip about what at least one person who has keys to the Bethesda admin account feels about you.
Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you?
That's right, this post was up for about 24 hours, and then, when it started to really take off, guess what? It was promptly taken down. Probably because the people with actual functioning brain cells over at Bethesda realized, oh, this isn't a good look for us. Especially considering, guess what Bethesda has coming up in terms of gaming? They have an Indiana Jones DLC, which people are probably not going to buy now if they were going to buy it all, ever. The Indiana Jones game has pretty much come and gone at this point. But the last big game that they had come out was Starfield. And that was not well received, shall we say. And we keep being told that there's DLC, massive DLC coming out for Starfield sometime. We're never told when or what it is or hinted at what it is. My guess is it's something that's still not going to make the game actually interesting at all. Then what game do they have coming out after that? Well, Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5. We'll probably get Fallout 5 before we get Elder Scrolls 6. That game seems like it's been a decade in production for the past decade, and still going to be another decade till it comes out. So it's not like they have a whole slew of games on the docket to, continuously generate them revenue to get them into the next quarter, the next year, the next 5 years, They've been relying on you purchasing new versions of Skyrim over and over and over again. And there's only so many times they can do that. And I think they've pretty much dried up that well at this point. And it's not like people are going to be coming back buying new versions of Starfield anytime soon. What I'm trying to say here is this isn't really the company that can afford such negative press being out there about it. And trust me, it's out there. I mean, this version of the video that I showed you comes from Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic is a Hollywood entertainment channel. He doesn't really do video games. And even he's stating here, Bethesda thought it was a good idea to let us know how they feel about Charlie Kirk and anyone mourning him. Now let them know how you feel. And if you just search Bethesda on Twitter, this is all you're going to see right now. From Quarter Black Garrett, never buying a Bethesda game again, disgusting. The Quartering replying to a Bethesda post stating fire this person or face the consequences. Which, yes, it's important to note that Bethesda hasn't said anything actually about this besides taking the tweet down. It's been over 24 hours and they didn't even come out with a blanket statement of, hey, something was posted on our page by a single employee. These do not reflect in any way connotatively the views of Bethesda. We do not endorse political violence of any kind, etc., etc. We're looking into the situation. They don't even have to say that the person is fired. They'll just say, we're looking into the situation. And that would be enough for most people. Not enough for me personally, but that would be enough for most people. But they haven't even done that yet. They're just going radio silent on this, hoping that it all just blows over. And it's not. You got My Nerdy Home here saying, hey, Bethesda, you can delete the tweet, but the internet is forever. And she's right, because even though they deleted the tweet, the video has been saved, it's out there, it's never going away now. And the more they try to suppress it, be quiet about it, the louder it's going to become. I personally like Tectone's tweet here. Bethesda, you will not run or be able to hide your deleted tweets. To say you don't care about Charlie Kirk's death because he was a, quote, fascist is corny as fuck. Whatever edgelord, blue-haired, libtard dipshit posted this needs to be held accountable. And quite honestly, I couldn't agree more with Tectone. It would be completely okay to fire this person. And for anybody saying out there, oh, that's cancel culture. No, there's a difference. There's a difference between finding jokes that were written on Twitter 10 years ago and then calling that person's job up, telling them about said jokes that were edgy, and then trying to get them fired over that. There's a difference between that and openly celebrating and mocking the assassination of a political figure, a father and a husband, and getting fired because of that. Beyond that, even if you want to say that that kind of stuff is okay and they shouldn't be fired, maybe, just maybe, they should make their jokes from their personal account and not the company Bethesda account. Because whatever edgelord, as Tectone calls them, wants to make this kind of statement using this scene from the Indiana Jones game, sure, make it. You're a horrible, despicable person. I still think you should get fired from whatever job you have. But you should definitely get fired if you do it using the company's account, where you're speaking not just for yourself, but for the company, the collective thought and mouthpiece of everyone that works there. Because when you post something from a company page, you're reflective of the company, all the people that work there, who might not have that kind of view, and saying that they have that kind of view. And guess what? They have friends, families, neighbors, people in their lives that are going to ask them, hey, are you actually reflective of this opinion? I don't think that you are. It seems strange that your company would put this out there. And now you're causing them grief because you wanted your personal opinion put on a company page. And we know why they do that, though, because they want to amplify the actual voice. Because they don't think their voice is significant enough to actually get the views and likes and retweets that they wanted. Well, they're getting them now. They're getting all the attention they wanted now. Do you think their company is happy with that person? Probably not. Do you think that this probably did damage to the business? Yeah, I'm thinking so. Now again, it's like a decade until probably Bethesda releases another game, if they're able to hold on that long. So yeah, will people probably forget about this? Maybe. But there are going to be some people that don't, that hold on to this. And it's important to note that Bethesda, a Microsoft-owned company, posted this video after Microsoft posted this. We're aware of the views expressed by a small subset of our employees regarding recent events. We take matters like this very seriously, and we are currently reviewing each individual situation. Comments celebrating violence against anyone are unacceptable and do not align with our values. Well, if they don't align with their values, Microsoft, what are you going to do about it? Somebody clearly at one of the companies that your company owns posted a video using the official account of that company in clear form to mock the death of Charlie Kirk. If you don't think this is right, Microsoft, why don't you step in as the owning company, call up Bethesda and say, hey, you need to put out at least a statement. You need to do something. Because currently, they've done fuck all, except take the post down, which, what does that do? If anything, that makes people even angrier, because they know you're trying to hide it. Again, in both situations that I've shown today, is this going to cause long-term damage to those brands? Potentially, yeah, but most likely not. The problem is we need to establish a precedent, which is professionalism. Just shut the hell up. If you're the CEO of a company that makes video games, how about you just not listen to the people that criticize you so vehemently and respond to them so emotionally? Maybe step away from the Twitter. Realize you don't have to reply to people all the time. Guess what? I'm on Twitter. I say things on Twitter all the time that get people to reply, sometimes very vicious shit to me. Guess what? I don't reply to them most of the time. Why? Because I just don't have that amount of care or energy to deal with people that I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know how mentally stable or unstable that person is. I don't know what their financial situation is like. I don't know what their emotional situation is like. I consider that, and I just go, you know what? I'm not going to reply to these people, because at the end of the day, they don't have any effect on me. It's just words. And in Randy's case, it's just words. You don't have to reply to people. You're doing the most harm to your brand while your game is being successful. Enjoy the success. Some people are complaining about the optimization issues. Okay, what you should do as the CEO of the company is be like, is the game selling? Yes? Good. And that's the end of it. And in terms of the arrogance of the Bethesda stuff, maybe, just maybe, you should be more restrictive with who you trust to the keys to the official account. Maybe be more selective in who you hire as communications people. Because my guess, it was somebody in communications for Bethesda that had access to this and put this post out. Because everybody out there calling for unity, oh, we need unity in this moment. And then a giant company like Bethesda goes out and does something like that. It's hard to, accept unity or be interested in a brand that doesn't see a large subset of their customers as, human. And they need to put that opinion out there to justify their own thinking, just like Randy, so they continue to feel the pride and the inflated ego that they have. Just like Randy has pride and an inflated ego based upon the games that he's created, and he doesn't like people challenging that by simply saying things like, hey, I don't think your game is optimized well. There are many sins in this world, but the sin that will often destroy the most successful people and do it quicker than anything else is pride. And I think that's why a lot of developers who have actual, humility in their success are seeing so much success. But hey, those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go and leave them in the comments. If you like this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.